Hi guys, Dorota International nail artist and educator here, and today we are gonna be playing with some watercolor flowers. They are absolutely amazing. Have a preview of it in here. So delicate and elegant, and I hope you really enjoy learning this tutorial, so let's start. Very delicate watercolor flowers, and I kind of start really liking it so much. So we are gonna squeeze out a little bit of the acrylic paint. And then what you want to do it is add a lots of water to it. Like lots of water. So make it a watercolor paint. I also got some cobalt blue. I'm gonna use it too. Just a small scoop of it. And then create a third color as well. I like to play with my paints like different colors. And first of all, what you want to do it is you want to bring in like a little almost dot with the paint. Clean your brush and remove the excess of the water. And I'm using the watercolor brush. And then we are gonna smudge this. Make another one. And another one on the side. You can see they are so delicate. Just perfect for a springtime. Okay, and then I'm gonna put another one in here. And another one on the top. So this one is gonna be so slightly bigger. Okay, I also want to pick up like a very small amount of this paint on my brush and create like a wee twist. So what I'm gonna do it is, let's do it maybe on this one here and paint like a heart shape. And then you want to fade it into the other side. This will create like a beautiful shadow. Do again on the top one. And then create the shadow. Pick up again the small amount and we are just gonna do a darker middle. And just touch it with the water. It will smudge pretty nice because we've got some places which are already darker. So just a couple of the smudges. Okay, now I'm gonna work with the pink and the dark blue to create a nice purple. And we are gonna paint another shapes of the petals and here. Like he's playing with some squeaky toy. Like make sure each time you don't have too much water, because if you've got too much water you will just float your design with it. And depending on the strength, like you add more water or less water. Okay, so the side ones are very delicate. Now I'm just gonna squeeze out a white paint to add a little bit more detail. So white paint. I always like to clean my tabs so they don't dry out. And then the D-liner brush. Again, we need to add lots of water into our paint. And what you want to do it is like you want to highlight this place here. Just a little bit. Patrick is changing the camera angles to get closer. Sorry, I'm painting such a small detail. And then very easy one, we are gonna do a couple of the dots inside. So white and the microscopic dots. Again, go into the white, and same like we did highlighted that one side, I'm just gonna go and add like a wee wave. The only thing is you have to do it very delicate. Just because the watercolor is so gentle. And I would just leave this one alone, like we don't want to overdo it. The paint dries in second because it's quite watery. So it is a very, very short drying time. So I'm just grabbing a high shine and top coat that one. Make sure there is no dust particles and then cure it. Okay, let's move on into the next one. I'm just gonna remove the dust this time. And maybe go for magenta color, which as you can see is my favorite one. So I'm just taking straight from the pot because there is just hardly anything left of it. Lots of water in it. And then clean my brush. Okay, this time we'll make the flower which is a little bit, which has more petals in it. So bring the color in and then start shaping the petals. Again, bring the paint in. And lots of water. If you feel you've got a bit too much water, you can kind of dry out your brush and drink that water away. He's going crazy. After a walk, Patrick took him for a walk on the afternoon, and now he plays with his squeaky toy. Okay, so we've got those 4 petals. Ideally, you want to wait a couple seconds for it to dry, so I'm just going to bring in green. Literally, you can see it on my mixing palette. I've got hardly any paint in there, but this will get you a really long way. And I'm just gonna add like 2 leaves on the sides. I want them to be as tiny as possible. So I'm going one side and then coming back, and that's enough really. Clean my brush again and go into magenta. I love it, the fact that again guys, like you know, I love using one product for lots of different things, and that's what I'm doing here. So we're using acrylic paints for the watercolor nail art. I don't like my desk to be flooded with too many different items because there is hardly any room on it anyway. Patrick is laughing.
Yeah, when I was your 2 tables together and full of the products.
Yes, so much products, like guys. You probably all have like lots of stuff in your drawers and everywhere. I love also that when you're painting with the watercolor, the places which you have painted before become darker and you can kind of see through. So it's a really nice effect. And the next petal here. So I go like almost like a V shape, and then come to the top and then start drinking that paint. In this way we have created another nice and pretty flower. Add more leaves to it. Do not paint too many of the dots, depending how fast you want to work with the design, because obviously the paint is drying, and then if it's dry too much, it is going to be very hard to smudge it. So always do it only as many as you can smudged. Maybe let's lighten up my magenta. so we can create more vibrant pink color. And then we are gonna add different petals. And some more on the top. Okay, so smudge it almost like a V shape, up and down, bring it down. And then if you want, you can even drink it. So that will leave you those kind of see-through places. And you can make them very tiny, you can make them bigger. I usually try to paint quite tiny. Okay, and same like we did it with this ones, we are gonna add some petals over it. So again, I'm bringing in a little bit more of this pink. And go with another petal and another petal. So therapeutic. Okay, perfect. I'm happy with this one. And again, we are gonna grab some white, lots of water in it. And it's almost like painting an S letters into the half, like making different. to clean my brush. There was some fluff on it. It might be actually an dry out paint. Sometimes it can look like a wee here. And look also what's happening, like when we're painting this line, over the time they kind of become lighter, so they aren't as strong. And then just around couple little dots. Okay, I'm happy with it. Again, don't want to overdo it because this is those type of designs, like the less is more. So apply the top coat. And we have created another beautiful watercolor flower. They look amazing. So like basically what I would do on the clients is I would paint the entire set, either a white baby boomer or a white Niels. That kind of style always looks the most delicate. We can put this one in here and then do the design on 1 or 2 fingers. Let's maybe do it here so we've got some sort of transition. We could actually paint maybe one more. Yeah, I have one more tip so we can paint something else. So this time I'm gonna use this one with magenta and see what kind of color we create. Or I should use blue. Blue would give me a nicer purple. But no, that one is quite interesting too. I'm gonna go heavier on the bottom this time. And maybe bigger. Let's do it bigger. Now I can see I've got some dry out paint on my brush, so I need to really clean it properly because it leaves me those dirt looking on my tip. So clean the brush properly, like really dip it in strongly inside. Take a clean wipe. And get rid of any dry out paint. As we can see, I'm kind of playing random with the colors, changing them so slightly. He's so noisy today. So because this flower is bigger, you can clearly see them like overlapping. And then on the top, I'm gonna go more blue. But still keeping this color range which I've gotten here. So I'm just adding blue into the mixture I have created. So again, I've got different shade. Another one which is gonna overlap those two. Let's do couple bends. And more petals on the top. And we are gonna go more and more delicate. Grab a dot of the green. And I want leaf in here, leaf in there. So I was playing a little bit long and this paint got dry out, so I just need to do it a longer massage to it. Okay, start adding the detail. So again, I need to work out my brush and go into the white. Nice and watery. Highlight the bend and look how different it looks by adding the sweet highlight in there. We should do bend on the top. I'm just gonna do it quickly. I cannot touch it with white now because the paint is still drying and it will almost like spread into the places where I don't want it, so be always very careful with that. It doesn't shine anymore. I had too much paint, so I needed to remove. That's too big blob. And I destroy it. So the moral of the story is do not rush it. Okay, couple more bends. That's better. You cannot outline like all of it because it will look too plastic. I'm just adding a detail somewhere. This one can be quite interesting. Let me figure it out. So I'm missing something in the middle part. It just doesn't look right. So what I'm gonna do it is add one more pink maybe. So my paint did dry, but what I'm doing is I'm introducing more water, and there we are. I've got watercolor now. Just be careful, because if the paint is too dry, you can get like this kind of messy look. I will squeeze one in here and one in there. That's better. Let me know, guys, what you think of the watercolor painting. I'm quite happy to hear your thoughts. Okay, this one is finished as well. We can top coat it, so high shine. And again, the paint is already dry. I wouldn't use acrylic paints for the painting the entire nail, but for the nail art they are fantastic, and I use them a lot in a salon. And my clients love those kind of nail art because actually not many people do it. Got some fluff in there. So yes, they are always very impressed. And I hope you will find it really relaxing like I do it. Oh, come on. Like I do it as well. And you will love acrylic paints for the nail art. I mean, in this case, we have made watercolor paints out of the acrylic paints. Okay, so we've got the pink one. Let me just get some more room. Not a chance for more room. And then that's the third one, very delicate. Oh. Get maybe rid of the one I painted. Oh no, I can't squeeze them all. I don't like the fact. Okay, let's do it some sort of, so I cannot leave them too much, but you can see it. So that's the last one we painted. That's the first one, and that's the second. No, that's the second. No, that's the second one. Yeah, and that's the two which I was just playing with. So that's what we did today. And I hope, guys, you have really enjoyed it and you are liking this technique as well. I'm sending you huge glittery hugs and looking forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye!